The best part about video games is they're interactive, and so is the PRESSURECAST. If you have a question, comment, complaint, or correction you'd like to hear read on an episode of the PRESSURECAST, email us, pressurecast@gmail.com. That's pressurecast@gmail.com. As always, please rate and subscribe on iTunes, Stitcher, and YouTube. It's always appreciated. And now, on to this week's episode of the PRESSURECAST. This week on the PRESSURECAST, new 3DS comes to America, Microsoft drops the price of the Xbox One, and Sony closes more Sony stores. Everything happening in the world of video games is here, now, on the PRESSURECAST. What's up, Pressure Pals? Welcome to the 61st episode of the PRESSURECAST, the weekly video game news podcast that posts every single Monday on iTunes, Stitcher, and YouTube. How you doing out there? My name's Colin Tanner. I am one half of your Pressure Pals, and across from me, Steve, the Right Stuff Cuff. How you doing, Steve?
Pretty good. I've never heard that one before. That's pretty good.
Just made it up.
That was nice.
I'm pretty proud of it.
Is that like my professional fighting name, or?
Yeah, definitely. You see, you take the name of the street you grew up on and your first pet, and that's how you get it. Okay, man, Steve. Whoa, so much news to get to this week. Nintendo.
A lot of Nintendo.
Absolutely. They had a Nintendo Direct, which I've always found that name to be kind of ironic in a way, because I feel like Nintendo is the least direct company in all of video games.
Yeah, pretty much.
They're just kind of like, well, when's the 3DS going to come out? We don't know.
When we tell you it's going to come out.
And tell us they did. But before we get to that, let's talk about how they wrapped up 2014. The Wii U sales were up 29% over the same period in 2013. Pretty good. And Wii U software sales up 75% over 2013.
But Colin, I thought Nintendo was doomed.
They are doomed.
Okay, they're still doomed. Good.
Yes.
Thank God.
They're in a barrel going over the river, just like Donkey Kong. Mario Kart and Super Smash Brothers sold, Mario Kart sold 1.7 million, which is crazy. And Super Smash Brothers sold 1.3 million. Not amazing, but really good install base, for the Wii U. Like, that's a crazy attach rate. Not exactly sure what it would be like, I don't know, like at least over 25%, for sure.
And I guarantee that Sony and Microsoft don't have exclusive titles with that level of attachment. There's no way.
Maybe Titanfall?
Yeah, you're right. Titanfall probably, just because there's absolutely nothing else to play on the Xbox One.
It's true. Well, now there is, but I don't know how well. Sunset and all those sold, but supposedly not well. But let's get over to the Nintendo Direct. So they did very well in 2014. Now we're moving forward. What are they going to do for 2015? A whole hell of a lot, starting off with the new 3DS XL coming to America, essentially as the new 3DS. Now, or if you're over in Australia, if you're over in Japan, hell, I think even if you're over in Europe, you can purchase the new 3DS XL or the new 3DS. What's the difference? One's big, one's small. One has faceplates, that's the small one, and one doesn't, that's the big one. But here in America, I guess we just have too big of hands, and, our hands are calloused from working in the mill all day or something.
That's got to be it.
And they said, nope, you are not getting the new 3DS. You will only receive the new 3DS XL, and it'll be in new red or new black. Make your own joke right here if you like. And they also have a Majora's Mask version. Did you see a picture of this thing? The gold with the mask?
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
You like it?
Yeah, I was really excited about it, and for a second I actually thought about getting a new 3DS just because of it.
Wow.
And then I kind of ran into the same problem that all my friends ran into, which is they all ran out to pre-order it the next day, and they were all texting me like, what's going on? Is it like this in Milwaukee? What's happening? And I was like, yeah, man, you can't
everywhere.
Get them. Yep.
And already, we'll get into it later, but people are already reselling it because they're pieces of shit.
Mm-hmm.
You are a garbage person. You're a man or woman made of like sew together trash bags. If you do that, that is what you are. like the Candyman. Anyway, yes, new 3DS. You might be saying, what's so new about it? You got the shoulder buttons, you got the C-Stick, you got the improved 3D. It also has the ability to communicate with the, amiibos, which is cool. You don't need that little plaque or whatever it is that's supposed to come with the old 3DS. But what you won't get is a charger. This is perplexing to me. Every single Nintendo handheld has come with a charger, if it had rechargeable batteries.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the original Game Boy, I don't believe that came with batteries. I don't think any of those came with batteries for whatever reason.
Yeah, but that's a little different. It's, batteries are universal.
Yeah. Man, remember those old movies where they'd be like, you don't buy a toy without batteries, and then they'd start shooting guns like in some weird 80s action movie? That means nothing now because no one uses batteries. But yeah, so no charger with the new 3DS XL. They do sell them on their website for $15.
Mm-hmm.
So you can buy it like that. Here's the thing, like, who is this for then? Because if you already own a 3DS, you can't sell it. You know what I mean? If you sell it, you have to sell the charger with it, or else you're not going to get your full money there. And if you don't own one yet, and you buy it, you're going to be a little pissed off. You're going to go, well, where's the charger? My phone comes with a charger. Everything comes with a charger.
Yeah.
And why does it have to be this weird proprietary charger? Why can't it be just like, micro USB A or B or whatever? I don't know. I mean, I guess this happens all over the world. I mean, are you going to get a new 3DS?
No, probably not. Well, and we kind of struggled with this before when I was on the show last time, where I was trying to figure out what exactly is this thing and why exactly do I need it. And I'm still a little bit in the dark on that one. Like, I'm not sure why I need it.
Perfect dark confirmed for the new 3DS.
Just drop that hint. The way I see it now is it's sort of like when I had my regular 3DS and the DS Lite came out and I didn't get that. And then the DSi came out and they said, well, the DSi is a little bit different. It does internet things and there's a store and there's some other stuff. And there were things I couldn't do on my 3DS, but I got over it and I waited. There were things I couldn't do on my DS.
There we go.
And I got over it and I waited and I bought a 3DS when that came out. So this is kind of like the final form of the 3DS, it seems before the next big thing comes out.
You sure about that? You sure?
I'm going to say that, but Nintendo is...
I can't believe they even
notorious.
made this thing to begin with. Mm-hmm. And like the number of revisions, I mean, they're definitely trying to take a few cues from Apple and trying to say like, okay, we want to make sure that every 2 years you're buying one of our systems. But like you said, what really is the reason to buy this? I don't quite know. We know that there's, Xenoblade Saga, which will be coming later this year. We'll figure out the date later. I mean, Fire Emblem is also going to be coming, but that's on the regular 3DS.
Exactly.
Not the new 3DS, which, by the way, that new Fire Emblem is called Fire Emblem If in Japan. If what? I don't know. And here's what really bugs me. They got that Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate for the new 3DS, even though it's also on the regular 3DS. Even I'm getting confused here.
Mm-hmm.
And you can use the C-Stick on there. They actually do have a Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate bundle, and it's only at GameStop, and you can't buy it in stores. You have to order it online.
Which
Come
is
on.
totally weird.
Come on.
Yeah, now I could see why getting a new 3DS would be good for a game like Monster Hunter because the camera controls are atrocious on the handheld. Sorry.
Touchpad and D-pad.
No, it's too much. It's kind of like the Kid Icarus thing where it's like, why you should give me a plastic stand because your controls are so hopelessly broken.
Yeah.
And that kind of stuff is inexcusable, but what are you going to do if you only have one stick? So it makes sense for that. But at the same time, I don't know. Why don't I just use a Circle Pad Pro? I guess it's not as portable, but...
Yeah, and that's true. That should be noted that any of the games that are on the 3DS can use the Circle Pad Pro or the Circle Pad Pro XL or whatever other crazy design.
I guess if you can
there.
find one, they're a little bit in short supply.
It might be cheaper to just go get a new 3DS at $199. And I already pre-ordered mine. I got new black because, I don't know. I try to go out of my way and not buy like black electronics or, like white electronics. Like I try and buy the ones that have color because I'm so bored of it. Like my phone is purple, because I'm just sick of like looking at like black boxes. But when it comes to looking at a screen, I don't want like all this color distracting me,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Yeah, but other than Xenoblade, which is it's just an up-res version or a ported version of the Wii version, right?
It is.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there's nothing different.
No.
I've played the Wii version and I didn't like it. Don't tell anyone.
You keep saying that. You're going to get in such
Someone's
trouble.
gonna kill me.
So, I mean...
there's no reason. Give me a reason to buy this system. There is none right now.
Maybe Xenoblade Chronicles will work better on a portable, though, instead of having to, like, sit there and, like, dedicate everything to that game, which I get it. Like, you're just going from point A to point B, point A to point B, point A to point B, a bazillion quests. Like, maybe, like, when you're on a bus, you're like, oh, sure, I'll return this egg to this farmer, and then it'll become like a cute chicken, and I'll get 12 HP or whatever the fuck happens.
Maybe it is a better platform for pointless MMO fetch quests and cluttered maps. I don't know.
Oh man. Well, here's the thing. We have some other news from Nintendo Direct that we want to get through. By the way, just so you know, that Xenoblade Chronicles will be coming to America in April. So that's when that's happening. Now, I don't even think we mentioned it. The new 3DS is coming out. What was it? February...
Soon? Like
14th?
3 weeks?
13th. February 13th. So you don't have any exclusive games for like 2 months?
Mm-hmm. And if you're a parent and you're buying your child a 3DS, well, first of all, you're probably not because it's February and it was just Christmas. Second of all, if you are, you're going to be pissed because you're going to open it up, or Junior's going to open it up, and he's going to go, Mom, I can't play, there's no charger. And Mom's going to be like, what the... Yeah, it's going to be horrible.
This is the worst half birthday ever. Well, let's talk about... I mean, that's perplexing. I'm already getting a new 3DS. I'm going to do... I came up with this new concept called unboxings, where I'll take something out of a box and show it.
Tell me more.
I know, and I'm really looking forward to it, so look forward to that. I'll put it up on the YouTube. You can watch me play with a stupid thing, and I'll have my 3DS XL and my regular 3DS all lined up so we can see which one's the fastest, blah, 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 whatever. Hey, so if you own a Wii U and you own a 3DS, congratulations, you are a rare breed of person.
Mm-hmm.
But one of the most problematic areas of Nintendo is the lack of cross-buy. Hey, you want to play Urban Champion on the 3DS? That'll be $5. Want to play it on the Wii U? That'll be $5. Want to play it on DSi? That'll be $5. You want to play it on the Wii? The regular Wii? That will be $5. And then we'll charge you to transfer it over. On the Wii U, from the Wii, of course, but nothing else. Well, we finally have our very first cross-buy title. I was going to say pile. Maybe this game might be
Is
a
it
pile.
a pile? Tell me about it.
Mario versus Donkey Kong Tipping Stars, which is, of course, another Mario versus Donkey Kong game. Those are okay. They're like puzzle games.
Mm-hmm. They're pretty fun.
Not puzzle platformers, but just puzzle stuff. It will be released on March 5th, and so far it is the only game that will, have cross-buy, but awesome. No price, of course, listed or anything.
Yeah, those games are fun, and I like the creative element where you can kind of build your own levels and stuff and share them with people. I think that's going to be a lot of fun.
Oh, I forgot about that.
So yeah, the cross-buy thing is cool, but it's like, Nintendo, get your shit together. The fact that I'm paying you $5 for Urban Champion in the first place is like a fucking miracle, because that game is a pile of steaming shit. If I'm going to pay you $5 for a bunch of trash, or even something good, you should let me play it on multiple systems. There's no reason why.
And it's always really problematic, especially with a virtual console, when you see something like Earthbound, and it's on the Wii U, but it's not on the 3DS. And it's like, well, why not? Is it really that difficult? Because, like, I can play Earthbound on, like, a fucking PSP if I crack it, and it'll be fine.
Yeah.
Well, mostly fine. You know?
Yeah, and I understand that, like, not everything can work on a 3DS and, whatever, and that's cool, that's fine. But if you have a title, like NES titles, for instance, that are available on both systems, there's absolutely no reason why.
Yeah.
There's the only reason why you don't have all... The virtual console's a mess right now, too, because you don't have all the stuff that was on the Wii, and I'm guessing that's a contractual thing, like they probably entered into contracts with all these companies, but it's like, you guys gotta think ahead, you need to clear these things up. And the fact that when I had my old Wii before the Wii U came out, and it crashed with all my virtual console shit on it, and it bricked... And that's it. I mean, it was like, not only did I have to get a new system, but I lost hundreds of dollars of games just because, fuck it, Nintendo.
We'll get into where Virtual Console is heading next in just a bit, but I did want to talk about Amobos. What are these? Oh my goodness. Little figurines with my favorite characters.
Nintendo Infinities.
Seriously.
Mario Landers.
The surprisingly popular Amiibos are actually going to have a brand new Super Mario Brothers collection, which will include, Mario, Luigi, and Peach. I'm not sure if there's any difference here from the previous Mario, Luigi, and Peach. I don't know. But it's going to come along. It's going to be like a pack. It's going to be a singular pack, and it's going to come out on March 20th alongside Mario Party 10, which will actually use amiibos. You can unlock special stages related to characters.
Exciting.
And here's what really pisses me off. A couple of weeks ago, we're talking all about like, okay, well, there's going to be some rare ones out there, and Nintendo's like, yep, there's some rare ones. Some will be discontinued, and you won't be able to buy them anymore. And one of those was Marth, the most rare amiibo so far. And people have already been selling it for over $100 on eBay. And now they announce that they're going to reissue Marth. It's like, what? Why would you put up that statement before if you're going to do it again later, like less than 2 months? Like, I don't understand, because you're actually just helping the third-party sellers at that point.
Yeah. I wonder if it's going to be a different version, though. Like, is it going to be a straight reissue or, like, slightly different so people know the difference between, like, a Gen 1 and a Gen 2 Marth?
I don't know. Like, I don't know.
I mean, it's shitty, but it's brilliant, honestly. Like, I mean, they're basically manufacturing this sort of demand, and they're making children froth at the mouth. Well, children and man-children.
And man-ladies.
Yeah, and then the other thing they do that's kind of shitty, and man-ladies, too. You can only use your amiibo with one game. So, like, I've got my Star Fox that I used to train for Smash Brothers.
Right.
But if I get Mario Party or whatever...
I do believe you mean your Fox McCloud, sir.
I'm sorry.
You fucked up, man. You fucked up.
My bad.
You're Star Fox. That's... Actually, what is Star Fox? Star Fox is the unit, right?
We're Star Fox. That was one of Star Fox 64. Thank you.
Yeah. Can't let you do that, Star Fox. And I'm sorry. But yeah, they're reissuing all these
more and more
amiibos.
like your father, Fox.
Oh, I honestly, I'm not a huge Star Fox fan, but I'm a huge Star Fox 64 fan. Like, to the moon. Love that game.
Absolutely.
I never got that. Is that good on 3DS? Did you play it on 3DS?
It's fun. I don't own it, but it's hard to come by now for some reason. But
there's a digital version, I want to say.
Yeah, you can probably get digitally. Getting a hard copy is kind of tough sometimes. But
hope it doesn't crash. Because my 3DS crashes. Bye-bye.
Buy stuff, because we can't tie things to account names because it's 1999.
So, by the way, Marth, what the heck? What's going on with them there? Why is he coming back? Well, it's because with Codename Steam, the 3DS title, not to be confused with the new 3DS titles, you'll be able to use Marth in Codename Steam, which, of course, is like the turn-based third-person shooter with Abraham Lincoln.
Abraham Lincoln XCOM.
Yes, yeah, pretty much, yeah. And you'll actually be able to import characters from Fire Emblem that have their own amiibos. So like Marth, Robin, Lucina. I hope that's how you pronounce her name. Lucina,
hey!
I can't help it. It's called amiibo.
Hey, amiibos.
So that'll be pretty neat. That'll be cool. And also, Puzzle and Dragons Super Mario Edition is indeed coming to America.
Oh my god.
I know. And guess when it's happening? We don't know. Actually, they said May in Japan, but it is coming in May of America.
Well, there you go.
Shows what I know.
Get your shit together, Colin. Come on.
God damn it.
You're supposed to be a goddamn professional.
By the way, there's going to be the Sega 3D Classics. I love Sega 3D Classics. Afterburner 2, Outrun, and more. Oh, yeah.
Nice.
I got the Space Harrier one. It's awesome. There's so many options in there. By the way, Katsuhiro Harada, he is the Tekken producer, announced Project Treasure. It's a 4-player, free-to-download Wii U game. Free to download. That's so interesting. That's like a brand new concept to me. Free to download. What? I mean, I played.
You can download it for free, but once you start playing, you have to pay money. That's the thing.
No. Those are free to play games, and Nintendo doesn't just frivolously come up with their own terms for no reason. I know. It's ridiculous. By the way, Kirby and the Rainbow Curse was originally supposed to come out on February 13th. It has now been moved to February 20th so that it will not come out on the same day as the new 3DS.
I want that Kirby so bad. Bad.
He's made of clay. It's made of clay. I can't wait.
I just want to get that in one hand and Yoshi Woolly World in the other hand and just like hug them against my body until they shatter.
That's my plan. By the way, if you have a Kirby or King Dedede or Meta Knight amiibo, you will be able to have some power-ups.
Like literally cheat in the game.
Basically, like, come on. I guess we should talk about the most important news of the Direct. Like, by far, the most important news.
Mm-hmm.
There's a motherfucking Rhythm Heaven game coming to the United States again.
Is it coming to the U.S.?
Yeah, man!
Okay, because I knew it was announced for Japan. I didn't know it was coming to the U.S.
It will include more than 100 mini games. And about 70 of those are actually from the old games. So basically, it's all the games wrapped up into one. So like the original 3DS one and the Wii one. Oh my God, I love Rhythm Heaven.
It's so good. And there's no excuse to not buy that game. It is perpetually on Amazon for under $10.
That makes no... You know what's funny? I actually bought it at Toys R Us because it was literally $2. I went, yeah, okay, sure. And I went home and I played it and I just was like, this is the greatest thing I've ever played. Like, really? Like,
it's really, 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 really good. Yeah, I got mine for $5 and with free shipping on Amazon, and totally worth it. Totally worth it.
Beautiful.
I love it. My girlfriend loves it. We played the shit out of it.
Did you play the Wii one?
Yeah, that's the one. Wii.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. Because I played the DS and the Wii
the
one.
DS one. See, I didn't play the DS one.
Well, now you can. Hopefully, you don't have that. What is that? The interview with the pro wrestler.
Oh, yeah.
I just remember the Japanese version because it's like no, huh? And it's like fuck. Oh God, Rhythm
it's so
Heaven.
Good, yeah. And I'm really bad at rhythm games. I don't generally like them very much, but the ones that Nintendo puts out, they I don't know, they have a certain charm to them. Like Elite Beat Agents on the DS was another one where it's like, I don't give a shit about rhythm games, but this one, it really drew me in. So Nintendo's good at finding things like that and giving them to us. I'm
the opposite. I love rhythm games, but it has to have music that I'll like. And even Elite Beat Agents was like Skater Boy, like, ugh. And I was like, oh, I love this song now.
Skater Boy.
It's so good. Didn't they have Michael Jackson in there?
They had David Bowie?
Jamiroquai. That's
Jamiroquai,
one. Yeah. God, man. So many rhythm games. We'll get into that later. By the way, Ace Combat Assault Horizon Legacy Plus.
Is that really the name?
Yeah, seriously. Ace Combat Assault Horizon Legacy Plus. Or as the fans like to call it, ACAHLP.
Fuck you, video games.
It will be coming to the 3DS, and it will take advantage of the new 3DS's C-Stick. To
do airplane stuff, what do you need?
I guess now's as good a time as ever. Is the new 3DS really going to have any exclusive games, or is it just going to be almost like the Amiibos and just have exclusive features? Because that's what it sounds like. That's what
it seems like. I mean, well, the like I said, the Xenoblade game is exclusive.
Woo!
Yeah, woo! Which is still going to piss some people off because they're not going to understand, and Junior's going to get it home and it won't boot up. It's got a little bit of extra processor power, so, I mean, it'll load your shit faster, and presumably developers can take advantage of that to make games that are better, but again, it's like a DSi thing. Yeah, there's DSiWare that I couldn't play on my DS, but whatever, I'll get the fuck over it.
I always regret not being able to play that WarioWare DSi, that do-it-yourself, DIY. That's the only game where I was like, ugh! Super cool game.
They actually just shut down the servers for that game.
I heard about that.
Like a couple months ago, yeah, which is kind of a bummer. But no, that was a really cool game, and I think it was cool too because it was like an introduction to game design for children, basically, which is totally crazy to think about. But you can make some really cool shit on that. So yeah.
And now Mario Maker, can't wait for that. No news on that, but just Harvest Moon, Story of the Seasons is also going to come to America. No release date on that.
Strike up the band.
You big Harvest Moon fan?
No, I don't give a fuck about Harvest Moon. It's okay. It's fine. It's one of those games that's very. I don't know. It's soothing to me.
Absolutely.
There was a time where I used to play the Super Nintendo one.
Oh yeah.
And I would just play before I went to bed, and it would just like calm me down.
Oh man.
Just like, I'm gonna go fucking milk my cows and then go to bed.
I feel like that's a game that is only playable in the months of September and October, and all the other it has to be fall. Like it has to be fall because I'm like I'm just gonna take care of this and grow some seeds and milk the cow, and I don't know. Very good. By the way, free to play Pokemon Shuffle for the 3DS. It's a puzzle game. You shuffle it around.
It's basically Candy Crush.
Sweet. And Tingle is coming to Hyrule Warriors on February 5th.
Yeah, this should have been the lead story, Colin.
I'm
very
sorry.
disappointing. Motherfucking Tingle.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I am so pumped for this. Which makes me like a creepy weirdo Zelda fan. But,
do you have did you get Hyrule Warriors?
Oh yeah.
It's really good.
It is good. I've never been a big Dynasty Warriors game fan, but
Same
I mean,
here, yeah.
you know, the only one, actually, the last one I played was the one that was on PS2. It was one of the early PS2 titles, and it was kind of like, look at how many people we can put on the screen. Isn't that cool?
Yeah, because part 2, 3, 4, and 5, I want to say, came out on the PS2, which is funny because part 2 is really part 1, because Dynasty Warriors is actually a fighting game for the PlayStation 1. But the latest Dynasty Warriors on the PlayStation 4 is actually really, really good. It's just fun. And it's really pretty.
It is. It's a great game just to, I mean, you just beat the shit out of everything, and it feels good.
That reminds me of like those things they used to do on like Sega way back in the day, the Genesis, where you just beat up stuff. Like you would beat them up, but I don't know what you would call that. Like a fighting game, whatever. Forget it. I guess we'll never know what that is. But here's what I would say is like the coolest news. Nintendo announced that Wii titles are going to be digitally re-released on Wii U. Now, we were talking earlier about amiibos. One of the rarer amiibos is being re-released. It's like they're paying attention, for once. And what is really interesting are the games they picked. They picked 3 different games. The first is Super Mario Galaxy 2, which you can buy right now on Wii U. I just bought it last night. On January 22nd, Punch-Out from the Wii is also coming to the Wii U. And then on January 29th, Metroid Prime Trilogy is coming to the Wii U. Now, all of these are essentially going to function as like removing Wii mode and just letting you play it directly. However, you will still be required to like use certain types of controls, like the the Wiimotes and the nunchucks. But you can actually use the gamepad as a classic controller if the titles actually allow that. Now, why does this matter so much? Well, Super Mario Galaxy 2 is kind of expensive, even though it's used. It's like $45.
Is it really?
It's really weird.
I thought you could still get it for like $20.
Its listed price is $20. However, new copies are rare.
Huh.
Punch-Out, the exact same thing. It's like $50 to $60. Like, go on Amazon. It'll knock your socks off. That Punch-Out game, by the way, freaking fantastic. And Metroid Prime Trilogy, $70 to $100.
Yep.
And so Nintendo has basically taken the 3 rare, sought-after Wii titles and are re-releasing it. And for the first week of their release, they'll only be $10. After that, they'll be $20. So, yeah, $10. Come on.
Yeah, that's not bad. $10 is fine. I guess I wish it would stay at that price point. Because, I really want to play Punch-Out. I'd like a physical copy, but I don't want to pay big money for it. I'm one of the few lucky people that snagged a physical copy of Metroid Prime Trilogy.
Get them! Everybody, let's go!
Here's the thing, though. I snagged it a year ago.
What?
Okay, this is some.
You found a time machine? What the fuck did you do?
So I think it was a year ago. Maybe it was 2 years ago. GameStop was running some sort of promotion where it was like 50% off used Wii games or something.
Oh my God, I remember that.
Yeah, and then I also had a coupon for an additional $5 off, so I got Metroid Prime Trilogy for like $34.95 or something like that.
And see, how sad is that is a steal? Like, you just blew my mind with that impressive discount, and it was $34.
Yeah, and it was kind of a roll of the dice because you don't know what you're going to get. But it was the original box, manual, disc is in perfect condition. You wouldn't know that it wasn't brand new.
And that's not going to be worth, that won't be worth as much as it was just like 2 weeks ago, but it will regain that price in a couple of years. Yeah. Like, people remember when they released Earthbound on the Wii U, and then suddenly all the prices kind of tanked on eBay. But then immediately, afterwards, it just runs right back up. Yep. Yeah, because people still want the physical copy, because it's a shift from people that want to play it to the market of collectors, and that takes a bit of transition. I'm fucking jealous.
But yeah, it's cool that more people that's accessible to more people.
Yeah.
But Metroid Prime Trilogy also brings up another issue, which is, where the fuck are my GameCube games, motherfucker?
Well, no. See, that's too difficult because, first of all, the GameCube had a totally different controller, and there's no way to play that on Wii U. No. That's a joke. What the fuck, Nintendo?
Well, I mean, maybe there'd be a way to do that if, the adapter was readily available. Ooh.
Actually, let's real quick.
Mhm.
Splatoon has a multiplayer hub that allows you to customize your characters. Okay. Speaking of which, you were just talking about, there is actually a Mac and PC adapter for the GameCube coming to PC.
Ooh.
4-player port controller, so that you can use your Dolphin emulators, as long as you delete the disc in 24 hours, to play with a GameCube controller. How cool is that? It's going to be at GameStop and Best Buy. You think it's going to piss off Nintendo?
A little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, they can't do anything about it because you can't prove that you're going to use it for emulators. Like I could say that, I don't know, I've been playing a lot of Cavern Kings, and I use a 360 controller for that. I'd be like, I want to use a GameCube controller for Cavern Kings, which I would probably do if I had one. So there you go.
Yeah, I do have the Smash Edition GameCube controller and the adapter.
Mm-hmm.
And I will say that when it comes to Smash Brothers, and I'm not a GameCube controller fan. Like, I'm not. I think that's one of the worst controllers of all time.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe not.
Hot take.
Not the top of the list, but definitely one of those things where it's like, look at even the original Xbox controller, I think is way better. The big balloon controller.
Oh, God.
I love that controller. I can't help it. But the GameCube controller with its kidney bean buns, it just looks like, I don't know, like whenever you see these images on Reddit or anywhere, it's like, look, I went to my acrylic class and I remade the GameCube controller. Well, of course you can, because it's always been a mess. Anyone can make that. Anyway. Do you want to leave Nintendo and move on to Microsoft?
Sure, we can do that.
That makes one of us, because I just want to stay in the glow of that amazing Nintendo Direct. But that's okay. You're right. So, back in October, Microsoft announced that they were going to be dropping the price of the Xbox One to $349. The price would then go back up starting, I think, January 2nd, which it did.
Mm-hmm.
It did. It went back to $400. And now they've announced that it's temporarily going back down to $349. Okay, all right.
And that's without the Kinect?
Yes.
No Kinect. And do you get Titanfall with that, or is it just bare bones?
You could. Any bundle that is $400 will go down by $50. So if you want to get the $500 Kinect with Titanfall or with like Assassin's Creed games, which is also $400, you could pick that up for $50 cheaper, whatever the model is.
Okay.
It's actually, I would say, an incredible deal. Like the Xbox One, it gets a lot of flack, deservedly so. They messed up early on in their marketing, but the console itself, when you're playing the game, is excellent. It's like
hey kids, go out and get your $350 Titanfall machine.
Yeah, well, Titanfall
and Forza too.
If you got a PC, you should probably play Titanfall there. But
oh yeah, that's true. You can do that too. So it's just a Forza machine, a race car.
Sunset Overdrive. I don't know. Well, actually, Fantasia Music Evolved by Harmonix, really great, as is Dance Central, the best Dance Central. I'm not gonna lie. I have dance. See, I like rhythm games.
You gotta sell your console on Dance Central. This is why people piss me off when they're like, oh, you got a Wii U, there's no games for that. Eat fucking shit. What are you playing on your Xbox One right now?
Dance
you are playing nothing. You're playing looking at your bank account with $0 in it with a thumb in your ass if you go buy an Xbox One.
That sounds pretty fun.
Yeah, whatever gets you off. Man,
That's the Bernie Madoff Friday night. I don't know. I don't know what that means. That's a fucking Dennis Miller joke if I ever heard one. I don't know what that means. But yeah, so let's ask Mike Nicholas, the corporate vice president of marketing for Xbox, why they're doing it. Well, he was talking to Polygon. He's talking about it was about positioning ourselves to have a breakout holiday. We were as aggressive as we could be to see how people would react. The results were staggering. It was terrific responses to the changes we made. I don't know why.
Is Xbox run by Joey Buttafuoco with a lisp?
I just like to imagine that he fell over as a child and like cut off part of his tongue or something, you know. It's a temporary reduction. And we're not announcing an end date at this point. We want to see how the peoples react to it. You know what I mean? So yeah, so there's no end point to this. That's all we know. Mm-hmm. However, the Xbox One outsold the PlayStation 4 in November, but I don't think we know if it outsold the PlayStation 4 in December. I know that we got the MPD numbers coming up, but I didn't see anything on that. We'll find out when we get there.
Yeah, I guess we don't know. The only thing you can say is, or like at least that I can say, is just from being in stores, it seems like there's a lot of Xbox Ones just lying around.
Yeah.
More
Lazy
so than
Xbox Ones.
lazy Xbox Ones. Get a job! Yeah, PS4s seem to be in short supply. Wii U's as well. I mean, but again, that could just be they're not ordering as many. So
Or they're not manufacturing as many.
Oh, they're not manufacturing as many.
I highly recommend the Xbox One with, like, if you are a fan of racing games, I think the Xbox One is the better console. If you're a fan of first-person shooters, I think it's on par with the PlayStation 4. So I do recommend the Xbox One with some caveats. Like, know what you're getting into. Like, know what titles are exclusive there and if those appeal to you. Because frankly, I still don't think these new consoles are worth owning. Like, even the Wii U. I love the Wii U, but I'm like, I don't know. Like, if I had to tell someone you need to buy this, it's like, how much do you really want to play Mario Kart? If you're like me, then go buy it. If you want to play Smash, go buy it. But, like, all these consoles, it's kind of like they haven't built up the momentum yet. Like, I would say by 2016, it's all going to be there. You know, like, if you bought an Xbox 360 or a PlayStation 4 in 2010, that was probably the best time to buy it because that's where it's just like, hey, here's all these awesome Batman games and Red Dead Redemption and everything's great.
That's when I got my PS3.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Let's see.
I had a 360 for a long time before that, and then I bought
What
the PS3.
happened to it?
My 360?
Yeah,
Which one? I broke like 4 of them, so.
Did you break them or did Microsoft?
Oh, Microsoft broke them. Actually, I didn't break 4. I broke. I'm on my 3rd one.
Ugh.
But I mean, I've all gotten them for reasonable prices, so.
Yeah,
and I'm on my 2nd PS3, so good job, electronics manufacturers.
Fell off a truck.
Yeah.
So speaking of Microsoft and racing games, they actually announced that Forza Motorsport 6 will be coming out, I believe, this fall. I don't know the exact date, but it's basically implied that, yes, this fall. They actually announced it during a Ford event when they showed off like Ford's new car, the Ford GT twin turbocharged V6 engine.
All right.
600 horsepower.
Drive that around and show women how big your wiener is. Vroom, check out my dick.
You know what's funny? It's the creepiest guys have the worst cars. Like, they'll have a van, you know? And the people that really want to be creeps but are too socially elite have the really expensive cars, you know? Everybody just owns a car to want to show off their genitals, is what I'm trying to say. That's the only reason cars exist. And don't even get me started on the Wright brothers. Yeah, so, I mean, Forza Horizon 2, one of the best experiences I've had of this generation by far. Forza Motorsport 5 kind of sucked. Kind of boring. Kind of dull. Like, every time I go anywhere where they have, like, a kiosk with it, I just see some 6-year-old just slamming into a wall repeatedly just because they're like, oh, this is better than what the game wants me to do. I don't know.
I mean, maybe it's just me, but I like my racing games to be fun. I like, burnouts and Need for Speed games and things like that, and racing simulations just don't do it for me.
No.
And I've kind of always been that way. Like, I guess I'd lump racing games in with sports games. And, I always gravitated towards the college games because they were always a lot more arcadey than their pro counterparts.
Yeah.
So I never played Madden. I would always play NCAA because I could do ridiculous shit like just, run all over the place and not really play football.
NCAA, like in the PS1 era, was so fucking good.
And I'd take NBA Street over, NBA 2K any day of the week.
NBA Street Volume 3 is probably the best basketball game I've ever played. Actually, I'll say NBA Jam, the remake on the Wii was so good. Our mutual friend Justin, we would get together and just play that, and we would just team up and just dominate these teams, and we would just be like, look at these pathetic assholes, like literally being smug and laughing to ourselves, being like, ha ha ha, yeah, I dunked on you again.
No, yeah, I'm all about the arcade style games. I can't get into simulation. Like, why don't they make a new Mario Super Strikers? Why? I don't need FIFA. Fuck FIFA. Super Strikers all day.
They were supposed to make one called Super Spikers. Did you ever hear about that?
No. Was it a volleyball game?
It was a volleyball/wrestling game.
What?
Yeah, it was made by the same guys that made Strikers, and it was canceled, and there is some concept footage, and they're just like, it's more violent than even like Super Smash Brothers. Like, they're just like throwing one on the ground and kicking them in the head. Like, it was crazy.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was Yeah, it was supposed to come out on the Wii and was canceled at the last second.
That's too bad.
It really is.
Yeah, the only Nintendo sports game I don't like is that shitty Mario basketball game that was on the DS.
3-on-3?
Yeah.
Was that what it was called?
Yeah, it was just boring as shit. Like nothing happened.
Yeah.
It's called like Mario 3-on-3 Hoops or something dumb.
And that baseball game wasn't too hot either on the Wii.
Oh, I didn't even play that one.
It was just called Mario Sports Mix, I want to say. That wasn't too good. Anyway,
yeah.
let's stop talking about Nintendo. Let's get as far away from Nintendo as we can.
Yeah.
So, back to Microsoft. According to Ken Lobb of Microsoft Studios, there might be some plans in the works to revive rare classic games like Banjo-Kazooie and Perfect Dark. God damn it, we're back at Nintendo. Ken Lobb, of course, if you don't know him, you know him if you ever played GoldenEye, because the K-Lob, the gun, that's Kevin Lobb. They just named the gun after him.
That's amazing.
He's been around.
I did not know that.
Oh yeah,
Fun fact.
I could tell you, GoldenEye. I've read up on like crazy because that game went through a bazillion revisions. It was a light gun game at one point. It's crazy.
Yeah, it is a really weird game when you read about the development and the fact that the team had never really made a game like that before, and they're just like, yeah, we're doing this.
It's so insane.
Yeah, which I guess that's why it was so innovative.
Here's what Ken Lobb had to say. Of course, he is the creative director for Microsoft Studios. You saw him at E3. I forget what he even introduced at E3. I think he introduced like, I don't know,
Connected Ventures 6?
Spellbound or something like that.
Oh,
anyway,
fuck.
will there ever be another Banjo, Viva, Blast Corps, Battletoads? Yeah, someday. We know there's a value. We have a lot of passion internally for each of the games, and we have surprises in stores in the near and long future. Ken, you can't say it and then say it's going to be a surprise. You already said it.
Yeah, you kind of ruined the surprise, dude.
God damn it.
I'm not excited. I mean, I hate to be, Mr. Rainy Day over here, but I'm afraid I've got some bad news.
Oh yeah.
Okay, let's look at these properties for a minute.
Okay.
We'll start with Perfect Dark because, I mean, first-person shooter, it seems like it'd be the obvious choice for this era.
Yeah.
Did you play the last Perfect Dark, the 360 one?
I did, and I thought it was awesome for like an hour, and then I was like, wait, there's something else besides graphics here. Oh, God, it's this rotting gameplay. Like, doing that roll attack that would put you in third person. It would make you invincible. Like, have you seen people play that online? They're just rolling on the ground.
Yeah, it's actually, if you watch like speed runs of that game, it's nauseating because there's a lot of rolling.
I want to watch. Was there a speedrun recently? Was that
I don't think they did one at Games Done Quick, but I've seen clips of speedruns of that game online. It's just like, oh god. But yeah, pathfinding's so bad. There's literally a blue arrow that shows you where to go.
So did BioShock Infinite. Although there was a green arrow.
Yeah, but it's like, god damn, like, ugh. So fuck that. Banjo and Kazooie. What was the last one on 3? Oh, it was Banjo and Kazooie Nuts and Bolts. Which was a complete mess. It didn't know if it was a platformer, a racing game, like a sandbox. It was just a disaster.
It was truly awful.
And there was a lot of like little fun ideas in there, but nothing kind of coalesced.
I take that back. It wasn't awful. It was awful if you had an expectation. I think the game is really, really impressive and cool, especially for the time, for what it did. But like, it is not at all Banjo and Kazooie. Come on.
And then you also have to consider, okay, so let's say they make a traditional Banjo and Kazooie game.
You did now too.
Yeah.
Banjo and Kazooie. Come on.
What are you going to do? Honestly, what are you going to do? Banjo and Kazooie has not aged as well as you think it has. And someone's getting very upset right now. Motherfucker, go back and play an old rare platformer. Especially, I think Donkey Kong 64 is the apex of this.
Oh, yeah.
Where it's just like you're collecting shit forever and you want to die. It's just collectathon platformers are not something you can do. So if they made a platformer, it would just be like some watered down version of what Nintendo does now with Mario, and it wouldn't be as good and people would complain about it.
I hate to say it, I was not a fan of the rare platformers on 64 because it just felt like busy work the game. Just like, oh, you gotta get this star and that star. And you're gonna hate me for this, listeners. They didn't have anywhere near the craftsmanship of like Super Mario 64, where it was like basically the stars were levels within levels. This just felt like random, like, oh, you gotta get to the top of this head. Well, I don't know.
And think about just how tight of a game Super Mario 64 is and why it's been re-released so many times and why you can, well, at least it's been re-released once. But why
Virtual Council?
Yeah. You can go back to that game and you can play it now and it still feels good.
Yeah. even though it didn't have flame flowers or mushrooms, and that
Yeah.
pissed me off when it came out. Pissed
But
me off.
the reason why it feels so good is the level design is great. It's got all the Nintendo charm.
Mm-hmm.
The control is tight. But above all things, it's not a collectathon. There's
No.
stars, there's red coins.
Yep.
That's it.
Yep.
It's simple, it's straightforward. You can't add 90 things to collect and think that inherently makes your gameplay better. So there's a problem. The only rare game that I would love to see a sequel to would be Blast Corps, because if you go back and play that game, it's still playable now, and it's got some good ideas. It's tough as fucking nails, but there hasn't been anything like it since then, and you could polish that gameplay up and you could make a cool little game.
I would say Blast Corps, just to disagree slightly, I don't think it's aged very well, but I think by looking at it, you can totally see a future for that level of design.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I would love to see a new Battletoads, but it would have to be 2D. Like, I don't want to play 3D Battletoads.
Yeah.
But Blast Corps, it's kind of like, this feels almost like an alpha of like a Steam early access game. You know what I mean? Where it's like, there's something here.
Yeah.
It's not done, but it's getting closer. But when you're a kid, that didn't matter. You just butt stomp and make things explode.
Mm-hmm.
Brilliant.
But yeah, even with something like Battletoads, what's your best case scenario? You make Double Dragon Neon with Battletoads?
Oh,
I mean,
man, you got to stop bringing up Double Dragon Neon.
That would be cool, but the whole thing with Battletoads is, well, one, you're playing as toads, and it's just like, that was like weird and novel, and also it was fucking hard as nails. Battletoads is a terrible, terrible game. Anyone who has nostalgia for Battletoads is an asshole.
Hey, I love Battletoads. Now, here's my thing. I love Battletoads.
You love the idea of Battletoads.
I love Battletoads. I love Battletoads, but there's only like 2 good Battletoads games. Battletoads 1 and then Battletoads on SNES. Fuck the Double Dragon crossover. That's hot fucking garbage. And it always was. It didn't age poorly. I remember saying, being like, I feel sad because this game is bad. Like, these are my 2 favorite franchises. I will defend Battletoads.
I will. Okay, now,
all right.
with Battletoads,
Okay.
You're defending Battletoads over here. I will pay you $50 cash.
Yes.
If you sit down and record yourself getting past the 5th level.
I will do it for free. That is what I will do. Because you understand, like, I played so much Battletoads growing up that I could probably do it. Like, I've got that.
There's so much shit that, like the rat race level, where it's just like,
man.
And then the level at the end, I don't know if it's the last level. I think it's the last level, but like
Right.
you're jetting around on some like unicycle thing, and there's some like thing chasing you around. You have to make these hairpin turns.
Yeah, it's okay. You're right. Maybe it's not good, but to me, it is great. But that is because I was a dumb child. As you know, come on, let's. This
Blinded
is how
by the
this
nostalgia
works.
of Battletoads.
Yeah, it's like the original Super Mario Brothers. We think it's great, but when you go back, it's kind of like, I don't know about this. You got to play Super Mario Brothers 3 or 2. Come on, kids, get with the system. Anyway, that wasn't controversial at all.
Hot take.
Windows 10 is having a media briefing on January 21st, and it will have a lot to do with games. They said that possibly it will be the best OS for games ever. I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. Because Windows 8, I think, did improve over time. Okay. Hey, Neverwinter, the new Neverwinter game. It's going to have a closed beta early February on Xbox One. Who gives a fuck?
Yeah.
I mean, cool, whatever. All Sony stores in Canada are gone. They are closing down. There were 11 of them. No, there weren't 11 of them. There were 14 of them. They're all gone. They're all
How will
closing.
the people of Winnipeg survive?
They've been collecting PlayStation 3s for heat.
Or that Sony PlayStation monitor, the special Sony monitor that you can buy.
I did want that. The one that was 3D and it could play 2 things. Yeah, I wanted
and
that.
I heard the PlayStation headphones are supposed to be pretty good.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I love Sony stores, and I am sad to see them go because they feel like wholly unique, and they were before Apple stores. They existed long before that, and they always were really cool. It felt like you were at a trade show more than you were at a store, and it was just cool to see like all of Sony's hardware working together. Like you'd see like an amazing television with an amazing sound system. With an amazing rendition of the PlayStation 2 that you just couldn't buy anywhere else, that have like 500 gigabyte internal storage. Yeah, PlayStation 2. Seriously, crazy. I miss them.
Well, and I guess that's why they shut down, because you'd walk in and be like, ooh, spectacle, and then you wouldn't buy shit.
Let's go to Walgreens and buy candy bars. You know, I can't afford this shit.
Exactly.
By the way, Amplitude for the PlayStation 3 and PlayStation 4 that was kickstarted and raised more than $800,000 last May has been delayed. to summer.
Wah, wah.
That makes me very sad, as I have already stated. I love rhythm games, just like I love being a turtle. By the way, The Last of Us Remastered is now bundled in with the PlayStation 4, supposedly permanently.
Oh, good.
So
if you are the last person on Earth with interest in playing that game that hasn't actually played it, that's a thing you can do now in high definition.
We've never played it before. It's just we're the last of us.
Yeah, The Last of Us.
Okay.
So for the last of you out there who haven't played The Last of Us,
Badum ching. By the way, Destiny and Minecraft were the best-selling games of 2014 on PSN.
to the surprise of no one.
Yeah, it's pretty boring. This is
Almost as boring as Destiny, am I right?
fuck, dude. That game, fuck.
Yeah, this was a big conversation when I went home back to Michigan for the holidays. I was hanging out with my friends, and they were trying to figure out why they all play so much Destiny, but they don't actually like Destiny.
Shit.
Which it's a real problem. Like most people that I talk to were like, "Yeah, I got up to level 26 in Destiny. God, I fucking hate that."
I don't get it. I honestly played for maybe about 6 hours and I went, nope. I said that's it because like, okay, you know what? Like I've never beat like A Link Between Worlds on the 3DS. You know, I've never actually sat down and played Impossible Mission on the Commodore 64. There's too many games out there that I can play, and if I'm not feeling it after 6 hours, you know, I'm not bothering with it. Like, stop, guys. Stop. Metrics are not gameplay. It's very important you realize that.
Well, you got further than me. I stopped after the beta, so.
Oh, yeah, we did talk about that. Yeah, you were on the show right after the beta.
Yeah, right after the beta.
Was it the beta or the alpha?
I can't remember. It was one of them.
Stupid
I was just like, I'm get in on this shit, and I was like, what the fuck?
Speaking of alphas.
Hey.
Metal Gear. Sony's H1Z1 is officially on Steam Early Access. Everybody's mad at them. I don't know why.
Because they're dicks. There's all these quotes that are like, we definitely won't be putting guns in airdrops because that would be real fucking shitty and really fucking stupid. We're not fucking stupid. Oh, JK, we're actually putting guns in airdrops and that's not stupid. And then to no one's surprise, everyone's like, it's kind of dumb.
Well, now they're offering refunds to everybody.
Well, not anymore.
What do you mean? What happened?
When they announced the refund, it was just like, you can get a refund if you ask for it by tomorrow at 10:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, and otherwise, fuck off.
Oh, no.
So
Sony's being wieners.
Yeah. Big
Sony's
floppy dicks.
H1Z1, of course, is the online zombie something or other. No one cares.
Daisy meets Rust meets Sony bullshit.
I mean, like, I wasn't really that mad about it, but I kept thinking to myself, I should be mad about this. Like, I know deep down I should be frustrated and call them out on it, but I don't know.
Okay, well, let's remove Sony being wieners from the equation and just look at what H1Z1 is. Okay,
boring.
You can boring, yeah.
Very
you can
boring.
pay either 20 or is it 40 or 30, depending on the tier of H1Z1 that you buy. You can pay that. You can pay money to play it right now.
Right.
So you're paying to beta test a broken game for Sony, a giant corporation. And a game that, mind you, is going to come out when it's finished and be free to play. So why would you do that? Why would you like?
It's only a $20 or $40 tier, man.
Yeah, it's only $40 to do work for a mega corporation.
It's true. You're right.
And on top of that, okay, let's take that out of the equation.
Okay,
what
all
is
right.
H1Z1 as a game? It's Rust, it's DayZ, it's zombies, it's a boring, bland aesthetic, it looks ugly as fucking sin.
It looks more like State of Decay to me. You know what I mean? Because the third person.
So, why? Just why? Why H1Z1? And I watched, there's videos up now, people, doing first impression videos and stuff, and even the people that are positive about it, I'm sitting there watching, it's like, what the fuck? There's like no loot in the game. It's just, you're running around collecting berries that you have to eat every 3 seconds because your health drops too quickly, and then you get sticks and you build a bow, and then someone shoots you with their bow before you shoot them with yours.
Bow. I don't know, H1Z1, whenever I read it, I think that's like the medical name for like genital warts or some shit. Like, I'm dead serious. Like, I forget what the actual name for that shit is. But Every
So
time
you don't think of H1N1, you think of genital warts.
Yeah, I'm just like, oh yeah, you're right. What is that? Is that herpes? What is that?
H1N1 is it's the flu.
cervical.
It's
Is it the cervical cancer causing one?
it's H1N1 it's like the avian flu.
Oh, that's right. Okay. Well, good.
It's like fucking bird flu, man.
So that's. I mean, like, it's not a bad name then, I guess. After all.
Well, I was wondering if it was a throwback to the late 1980s zombie movie Zombie 5: The Killing Birds.
Oh my God! Didn't they used to play that on USA?
I don't know if they ever did. It was weird because the original like Zombie 2
Oh,
was an Italian
yeah.
pseudo sequel to Dawn of the Dead.
There's no Zombie 1.
No, there's no Zombie 1.
Zombie
It was
1.
just they wanted to do that to associate it with Dawn of the Dead.
Because Day of the Dead's called Zombie in France or in Italy.
In Italy, yeah.
Right.
And somehow they got to do that without getting sued. And then there's a Zombie 3 and 4, which are both completely, I mean, they're shitty movies, but they have nothing to do with each other or
Right.
Zombie 2 or Dawn of the Dead.
Or
They're
Day
just
of the Dead.
Or Day of the Dead.
Or not Day of the Dead, Return of the Living Dead, which is also an offshoot of the
Yeah,
original
so
canon.
nothing to do with anything. They're all standalone movies that share titles with sequels. And then Zombie 5: The Killing Birds was the last one. And it's not really about zombies, it's about birds that kill.
Yeah, I forgot about that. Well, at least that's an original concept that
Yeah.
was never done by
So
Alfred Hitchcock.
I doubt
in
that's
the
what Sony did, but
60s.
if that's why they sat down, they said, you know what we need to do.
Man,
That'd
the
be cool.
zombie series. I really never think about them. Those movies are way grosser than like I would
well,
say.
it's got Lucio Fulci. He directed Zombie 2,
Right.
which by the way was just called Zombie in the U.S., but so making it more confusing.
And then they released Zombie 3 in the United
Mm-hmm.
States as Zombie 3, I want to say, right?
yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So
I
it's a little confusing, but the cool thing about Zombie 2 is it's got two good scenes. It's got the best eyeball rip ever in the history of film, when the girl's face gets dragged towards the splinter door. And it also has, in the beginning of the movie, it has a fight between a shark and a zombie because why the fuck not?
Now that sounds good to me.
Yeah. So there you go.
That was a nice little lesson. We all learned
It
a little
is.
bit
Well,
more.
I feel
about
like I'm being very
Italian
negative
cinema.
today, so I just wanted to throw in some Italian cinema and just brighten everyone's day with that.
Okay, let us be positive now by talking about the NPDs for December. We don't get numbers. We don't
numbers?
get the numbers of the sales. We just get the order in which we're best selling.
Okay.
Let's do it. Number 10, FIFA 15. Number 9, Destiny. Number 8, Dance Central 2015. Number 7, Far Cry 4. Number 6, Minecraft. Number 5, NBA 2K15. Number 4, Super Smash Brothers. For Wii U, 3DS. They put them in the same column, which is weird because I thought they were separate games.
Yeah.
Number 3, NFL 15. Number 2, Grand Theft Auto 5. And number 1, Call of Duty Advanced Warfare. Now, what are the best-selling games of all of 2014? What are the top 10? Well, they're basically the same ones we read off. 10, Call of Duty Ghosts. Oh, Call of Duty Ghosts. Number 9, FIFA 15. Number 4, Watch Dogs. They say number 4?
Yeah.
So that Watch Dogs was
four is the
number
new 8.
yeah. Watch Dogs was 8. I'm dividing everything by 2. Number 7 was NBA. Number 6, Smash Brothers. Number 5, Minecraft. Number 4, Grand Theft Auto 5. Number 3, Destiny. Number 2, Madden NFL 15, which I think actually is they actually did a better year this year than they've had in a while.
Huh.
And number 1, Call of Duty Advanced Warfare. So those are your
Yay.
best-selling games.
All the sports and the shooty bangs.
I know they're not.
Hey, Smash Brothers.
These aren't the best games of the year. Like, I wouldn't even say Smash Brothers was one of the best games of the year. I thought it was good.
Yeah.
But I would take a Mario Kart over that.
Well, I mean, that's how it always works. If you look at the highest grossing films of the year, although I guess Guardians of
true.
the Galaxy is the highest grossing film, and you could make an argument that it's the best movie of the year if you wanted to.
You could. Suck it, indies.
Yeah.
You spent 18 years making Boyhood.
Exactly. Yeah, if there's one thing you can count on, it's Boyhood isn't going to make Transformers money.
That's sad. But he transforms over the
does.
course of 18
He literally
years.
transformed. That's
takes
what they should do. They should market. Okay, so you market Boyhood in China as Transformers 5.
Ooh.
Hey.
It's just like zombie.
Just
all
start out
over
Richard
again.
Linklater if you're out there.
By the way, GDC, Game Developers Conference, they had a report. They actually asked a bunch of developers saying, hey, what are you working on? 26% are working on the PlayStation 4, which is up from 14% last year.
Mhm.
22% are working on the Xbox One, which is up from 12% last year. And the vast majority, over 50%, are working on mobile, and 53% are working on PC. Now, both of those numbers are actually down by about 2 to 3 points for the PC and mobile development, and they are up for the console development, but still, PC far and away takes it for developers.
Yep.
Because it's the easiest.
It is. It's easy,
You know?
and designing for mobile is good if you want to. I mean, it's kind of like being a gold prospector. You know, you can put something out. A lot of times, you can do a quick turnaround on something, and you can make a shit ton of money. So that's good, and it's easy to clone games on mobile too, because that's what most of the successful ones are.
This got me thinking about, the guy who discovered the gold rush. You ever hear that story?
No.
The guy who discovered the gold rush. No joke. The guy he ran out and said there's gold in the river, like screaming. You heard about that guy, right? He was like, there's gold in the river. And everybody freaked out and went to do the gold and all that,
Yeah.
That guy was the richest man in all of the gold rush. And he barely took any gold, like hardly any. Because he actually discovered it like a month before. And he went like from town to town and bought all the pickaxes and all the pans and everything. And then announced there's gold in the river.
Yeah.
So everybody had to buy it from him.
Oh, well, that's perfect.
Fucking genius.
Brilliant move. But yeah, I mean,
that has absolutely nothing to do with what we're talking about.
No, but I mean, you can be a mobile developer and just make, instead of Candy Crush, you can make fucking, I don't know, cucumber mush. And
I'd play
make
it.
a lot of money, yeah.
I'd
Or
play it.
Instead of Clash of Clans, you can make Clash of whatever the fuck you want, and you'll make a lot of money.
Yeah, there's that new Game of War.
Game of War featuring the attractive woman.
Not at all Game of Thrones.
No.
Not at all. Like, I'm just watching the
It's great. I
commercial.
want to get a job coming up with titles for mobile games because it's like all you have to do is like you take two pop culture things that are loosely related and you smash the names together.
Call of Clash.
Yeah.
Huh.
Or Callcraft.
Oh, God. Yeah,
Craft of Duty. I guarantee Craft of Duty is a game that exists.
I guarantee it. How about this? Grand Theft Auto 5 is coming to PC, but guess what, kids? It's been delayed until March 24th.
Every time there's a Grand Theft Auto 5 story, it starts off positive and there's some strange caveat at the end that makes like the sad trombone noise.
According to Rockstar, we're sorry.
Please understand.
Please look forward to E3. Here's what you need. I thought this was pretty good. I just want to mention the recommended specs. We're never going to talk about the minimum specs because they are so paltry, like an Intel Core 2 quad CPU processor at 240. Yeah, seriously. Hear me out on here, all right?
A telephone.
Yeah, the recommended specs are like an Intel Core i5 34070 at 2 gigahertz or like an AMD at, 4 gigahertz. You need 8 gigabytes of memory. For a video card, they would like you to have like an NVIDIA GTX 660 with 2 gigabytes or an AMD HD 7870 with 2 gigabytes. Like DirectX 10 is required. This is weird, man.
Yeah, those are pretty low specs.
Seriously.
Well, probably because, it's going to be a direct port of the PS4 version, and it's not going to be that different.
It will feature the NVIDIA 3D vision and 4K resolution.
Oh, well, that's nice.
And you can even have triple monitor displays.
Cool.
Which would be all right. The only problem, like everything here sounds good, but the only problem is that GTA 5 has a garbage story mode that is way too long and poorly written. Other than that, pretty good. Well, and like there's some like inherent like awful sexism throughout the storyline. But other than that, it's pretty good. And they don't develop black characters, even though they have a bunch of black characters. They just don't develop any of them or display their motivations for their actions. And they basically focus on middle-aged white people for the entire game. Other than that, it's actually very, very good. Oh, and the bank heist missions haven't been out yet, even though they were announced a year ago. But other than that, it is, I would say, a pretty okay online game. It's like, I don't know. I'm serious.
Grand Theft Auto 5. It's all right.
It's okay. Not the best.
Well, I don't know.
Grand Theft Auto 4.
Grand
Theft Auto 4.
See, and it's funny because that's like my least favorite one.
Oh, I'm going to bring it, baby.
I like 3 because you can be fat and then you can ride a bike.
Oh, you mean San Andreas?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that one. I like
so
Vice
basically
City.
Grand Theft Auto 3 is what you were saying.
Yeah, 3.
Yes.
Yeah.
I remember when people were asking for Grand Theft Auto 4, they said, is this San Andreas 2? Like, San Andreas was so popular. So popular.
Good game.
I don't know.
I'm just going to play Payday 2 on my PC and fuck off.
Yeah, man. Or Battlefield Hardline. They're going to have an upcoming beta, but they won't tell us when.
I'm not playing that one.
I
spent enough damn time in that beta.
Wasn't this a year ago we were talking about this? Weren't we?
Hate playing the Battlefield 4 Hardline
This
beta.
was like, no joke. This was like 9 months ago we were talking about you playing the beta. Whatever.
Yeah.
They don't know when that's going to happen. By the
Hopefully
way,
never.
Hotline Miami 2, wrong number, has been denied release in Australia due to its violence and, there's a rape scene. Long story. We can talk about that some other time. So, how do the developers feel about this? They've come to a pretty good solution. They've asked their fans in Australia to please contact their officials and ask them to actually allow the game to be released. No, I'm kidding. That's not what they did. They told everyone, just pirate it.
I love digital devolvers so much.
I
love them so much.
They're the publisher. Like the developers, like the guy named Cactus, who's like got a very difficult like Norwegian name. I don't actually know what it is.
Yeah, steal that shit.
Yeah, it even like said, no need to send us any money, just enjoy the game. Yeah. So, I fucking love Hotline Miami.
Mm-hmm. I'm really excited for the second one.
I can't wait.
So I'm super pumped because my girlfriend, she pre-ordered the gatefold vinyl.
Oh,
and it comes with a digital copy of the game too, and I'm so excited to listen to that and to play the game.
Probably the best soundtrack. One of the best soundtracks. Not original soundtrack, best licensed soundtrack like ever. Like the only games that can compete with that are like Rock Band games. Like fuck.
Mm-hmm.
Over here though in America, Hatred, the game where you're like shooting cops and it's kind of being made by some people that are associated with Nazis, was given an adults-only rating in the United States and Japan. Mm-hmm. Japan? What the fuck? United States and Canada. Why the fuck did I say Japan? What is going on with me today? They actually reached out. Who was talking about this? This was Polygon. They reached out to the developers, and here's what they had to say. I would prefer to get an M+ rating because with AO, we will have problems to get 2 consoles in the future. But on the other hand, I think you guys would be disappointed with it. He wrote this on a forum post.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not surprised.
I mean, I don't think it matters because it's primarily a PC game now.
Yeah.
So the rating does not matter at all on the PC.
No.
And yeah, if you want, I don't know what the individual console makers' policies are on adults only games, but I feel like with all the shit swirling around Hatred, I don't know if Microsoft, Sony, and especially obviously Nintendo wouldn't touch it. So I don't know if Microsoft,
I
Sony
think
would do
Nintendo
it.
would go for it.
You think so? The people who wouldn't let Binding of Isaac on their system.
Maybe because it's isometric shooter. Maybe they'll have like Pikmin running around with him and killing the cops.
Sure. Amiibo support.
Oh, totally. The neo-Nazi amiibo.
Yeah, neo-Nazi amiibo. That's good. The Goebbels amiibo. I've got mine.
Oh God. Jesus.
Yeah.
I don't know. Hatred, I've watched some gameplay and I gotta be honest, I don't think it's an adult only game. Like I don't understand why they're making that distinction with them. I think that's unfair. Like I will never buy it and I discourage everyone from even playing it.
How did they rate it either? Like is the game done? Is it ready? Like
you don't have to have a finished product.
You just have to send them like a beta version of it or something?
Not even that. What you have to do, and I don't know if they actually do send betas. I don't believe they do. They generally will just send video clips of, maybe they'll send a beta and then someone else will record the game and then they send that in and people discuss and, keep track of everything. Like you're supposed to make a highlight reel of what the game is, like where violence takes place, where nudity takes place. Mm-hmm. I don't know. It doesn't seem like it deserves an adults only, but
yeah, I mean, and again, I would say too, I haven't played it, but I have no interest in playing it. There's no reason at all. It's pointless violence without context to shock people. It's like the doodlings of a 12-year-old in a notebook. Who gives a fuck?
Well, that's Drawn to Death, which is coming to the PlayStation 4.
But again, even that's in context.
Yeah, I want to play it, but I don't ever want to pay for it, and I don't want to pirate it either. So I don't think I'll ever really play it.
Well, I've thought about pirating it so I could play it, so I could write about it.
Yeah.
But I don't even want to do that because it's just like I don't want to spend time with something like that. There's no reason for me to give it the fucking time of day.
I'm interested. Just I'm just interested.
Well, and one more quick aside on that. Obviously, I'm really into 80s, 70s horror exploitation movies.
Yes.
I love schlock like that.
Okay.
And I know that a lot of the stuff in there, the senseless violence, the way they treat women, things like that, I know it's all bad. And that's okay because as long as you're conscious of the messages that your media is sending and you're willing to be critical of it, that's fine if you consume that stuff. That's perfectly fine.
Yeah.
So one thing I stay away from is there's this whole subgenre of horror and exploitation movies where it's basically just stage snuff. And
yeah.
why would anybody watch that shit? Well,
What do you
there's
mean,
people that are into it, but
You mean like the Saw films or
no. I mean,
Okay.
like, there's a series of movies. They're actually newer. They're probably from the last like 20 years or so. They're called like August Underground or something like that, and they're made to look like actual like people filmed getting murdered. Shit. Why would I want to watch that? There's no story arc. There's nothing to it. It's just senseless shit. It's the same reason why I don't like movies like I Spit on Your Grave or something like that.
Oh, I don't know that.
Or even or like Last House on the Left. Like I don't.
I don't know.
And so in even those even those movies, they meet like the bare minimum for like plot and context. Whereas something like Stage Snuff is like there is literally no reason. It just exists to show you gratuitous violence, and there's no context, there's no story, there's nothing to get invested in except do you like watching innocent people die? And that's how I feel about hatred. Why should I care because some guy with like stringy black hair is like, society makes me angry, gonna make them go dead. That's so fucking lame.
I just, maybe it's just me from like an academic standpoint, even though I'm probably the least academic person alive, like I still like to observe like these works. Like I do want to see where the extreme lies. Like I want to witness that, if only to know like where is the line today? Where are the farthest things from the line? Now, of course, I'm not going to go and seek out like pornographic, like very disturbing things like that. That's something very different to me. But like I can't help it. Like that's my
as
curiosity.
a semi-mainstream product. It's interesting to see what it is.
Yeah, like this is unique. This is something that's coming from a certain point of view, and that's kind of what I want to experience. Even though I bet the gameplay is going to suck balls.
Yeah, totally going to steal it though because I'm not giving money to fucking Nazis.
No, hell no. By the way, Starbreeze has sold the ownership of Brothers: A Tale of Two Sons to 505 Games, and they only charged them $500,000.
Huh.
And now let's move on. Rock Band 3 DLC has returned with the Arctic Monkeys, Avenged Sevenfold, Foo Fighters, all coming with new songs, even though they haven't put out any songs since April 2013. The last song, of course, was American Pie.
Oh,
I know. But something's going on with Rock Band because they've also have a survey on their website saying, what do you want in a new rock band? Here's what they've listed on there. They had a survey that says, fixed campaign mode, competing with the world through leaderboards, local multiplayer, online multiplayer, a variety of venues to play in, regularly updated in-game events, the ability to create and customize your own character, pro instruments and pro lessons, compatibility of existing DLC, new weekly DLC, compatibility of existing hardware, a large on-disc soundtrack, and et cetera, et cetera. For me, yes. I can't help it. I fucking love Rock Band.
So dust off your plastic drums, kids.
No, I went through like 2 drum kits.
What did you slam those things too hard over there, animal?
No, it's I can't help it. The thing is, they inflate after a while. Like the tops of them just inflate because it's just I've even like looked into the $500 drum kit that doesn't have that. I'm serious. I've loved
fucking
Rock
nerd.
Band. I can't help it. It doubles as a MIDI drum set. That's all I'm gonna say. There's actually like a practical application.
So you can record your cover of Phil Collins' "Mama."
My god, I don't know. In the Heat of the Night would probably be the one I'd want to do, but I need like bells or whatever that is. By the way, speaking of like gratuitous horror films, there is supposedly a good God, there might be a Friday the 13th game. Boy, isn't that interesting, Steve? Huh?
Yeah, I saw something about that. I hope it's just an HD 3D remake of the NES one.
Purple Jason.
Yeah, boy, that game's dog shit. I don't know. I mean, I guess you could do something maybe. I mean, it makes sense because what it's going to be is it's going to be an Amnesia type game, like a Machine for Pigs type of game.
Exactly. That's
where you're going to be walking around, not much is going to be happening, and then there's going to be Jason, you can't do anything, and you don't have any weapons, and you just got to deal.
I can't really believe for a second that I think like Friday the 13th stretches like credibility in some areas, especially early on, because I don't know why these kids can't get away from Jason. Like when they're in the woods, like that seems super easy. Now later films where he's like literally throwing the machete, I'm like, okay, I get it. I get why you can't get away from him.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, there's some things you could do with it. I think you could, if you had kind of an open-ish environment, or at least like a hub environment, that would be cool. And And if it was kind of a mix of Amnesia gameplay with like Alien Isolation gameplay, with Jason as the alien, obviously, that would be cool. And then maybe expand on some of the crafting stuff from Alien Isolation, so you could build traps and shit, a la the Deception series, but not as intense and arcadey. So there's a lot of little things you could do with a Jason game, but I don't have any confidence that they'll do those.
I don't know. I mean, they'd have to have like a really good story for it, and I feel like it would require them to have something like maybe a little girl like runs away to like Crystal Lake, and they're like, "Crap, we need to get her."
Yeah.
Like, and that's when like everybody starts getting taken out. You know what I mean? Like, they need to have a really solid plot to make this work, and that's what makes me worried.
Yeah, and people don't realize this because you get nostalgia clouds your vision, but most of the Friday the 13th movies, I would say actually almost all of them, except for Final 13th, I think it's called The Final Chapter. It's number 4. It's the one with Crispin Glover dancing.
That's 4.
That's 4, yeah. That's the good one. I don't like any of the other ones.
What is 5, Manhattan?
No, Jason Takes Manhattan is 8.
What?
Yeah.
Then what, 9 was Jason
9
Goes
is Jason
to Hell?
Goes to Hell, yeah.
And then Jason X.
And then the remake.
Right. Well, no, because I would count Freddy versus Jason.
Oh, Freddy versus Jason, then the remake. Yeah, sure.
Oh, I love Jason X so much. I really
Some
fucking
good
love
scenes in
them.
there.
There's literally a point where robotic ants rebuild him and make him Super Jason.
Yeah, but I mean, the point here is you're not dealing with good source material.
Man.
So what are you going to end up with? You're probably going to end up with something that's like the Splatterhouse remake.
You know what? See, here's the thing. I love those Friday the 13th movies, but it's because they're awful. That's what makes them fun. So if they could somehow make this and not take it too seriously, that would be amazing.
So bad. It's good. Just get the devs from Ride to Hell, Redemption, or whatever the hell it's called.
Oh, God. You know what? I automatically am going to say have Devolver make it because, of course, I'm going to say that about everything.
Yeah.
You know.
That's the only answer for that.
Or Blizzard.
Blizzard.
Speaking of which, Blizzard has that new game, Overwatch, but there's a bit of a problem.
Uh-oh. Something's already called Overwatch?
Yeah. See, the United States Patent and Trademark Office says that there's already something called Overwatch, and that they might not allow you to use that. It's apparently a mobile phone app.
Oh.
Yeah. I don't know.
Well, it's kind of a generic name anyway, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah. Looks like they weren't really overwatching anything. If they know that.
They should watch over their patent lawyers better.
Kevin Berner, he's the president and co-founder of Telltale, but guess what? He's also the CEO now. Wow, what a day to be alive.
Cool.
By the way, this is actually pretty interesting. Austin Wintry, he was the composer for Journey, as well as the Banner Saga, has been fined by the American Federation of Musicians because he used non-union musicians when he recorded in Texas for the Banner Saga. They wanted to charge him $2,500. And his response to that says, doing so would be to agree with their failed policies, selective tactics, and threats work. He's saying like the threats work. That's just a weird way. It's hard to read.
And threats work. Okay, yeah.
I don't know. Honestly, like, unions and federations are good and bad. It's all dependent on what you're dealing with. But I don't know of any like musician like unions that have ever been good. They seem to, same with like filmmakers and shit. Like they fuck a lot of people.
Yeah, I mean, there's stuff like SAG and stuff for, Screen Actors Guild, but
which totally screwed over Terry Gilliam and,
Robert
Rodriguez.
But it's also good for production because it's easy to exploit actors and people who work in the film industry.
Yeah, even Adam Sandler.
Yeah, even with all the unions out there, like, people get boned on jobs all the time. Something like musicians, I didn't even know there were. I mean, I guess it makes sense, but I didn't think it was that big of a deal.
As far as I'm aware, all the musician unions are super petty. Like super petty, and like they don't seem to help a lot of musicians.
I'm surprised because
there are still good ones. There are still good ones. I don't want to make it sound like that's a blanket statement, but it's really like there's so many musician unions from city to city to city that you really have to like pick and choose which one you want to belong to because they will just. They want a fee for every goddamn thing in some of these cities. Like yes, some unions are rackets. Like of course that is. There are some businesses, there's some restaurants that don't clean the kitchen. You know what I mean? And there's some that are very good and have great service. It's not like union is like, it's not already decided. It's not neutral evil or neutral good or whatever. Like unions are different everywhere,
Huh, that's really weird. I'm surprised that he's getting in trouble for using non-union work because again, in the film world, if you look at someone like Lloyd Kaufman from Troma, he's never made a union movie once in his life. He just hires a bunch of young people and feeds them bologna sandwiches and makes them sleep on floors.
I love him so
so
much.
I thought there were just ways to get around it. I didn't know that you could get in trouble for that shit.
What about, what's his name? Corman.
Roger Corman?
Roger Corman.
Yeah.
I love his stuff. You ever see Ski Patrol?
Ski Patrol? No.
It's literally just these guys skiing around the Alps and juxtaposed with actual grainy footage of World War II. It's so insane.
That's fucking weird.
Like, you just see them skiing, like, politely, and then it just cuts like a giant thing that's just shooting huge bombs and it's shaking the whole ground. Horrible
That's
movie.
weird. I feel bad for the Banner Saga guys because this is like the second big thing that's happened to them where they've gotten in trouble.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. I mean, whatever. I mean, he's in a little bit of trouble, though, because he either has to pay it or he's going to be ejected. But, you know, I'm sure, like, he can go start another union and have, like, new ideas. But good luck starting that. By the way, DMC, the Devil May Cry Definitive Edition, is now moved forward to March 10th instead of March 17th.
Yeah, get your sexy Dantes sooner than ever.
I highly recommend that game. You got a piece. You got to play that game. 60 frames a second. Whew, gorgeous.
Give it a shot. Give me a Steam sale and I'll jump on that shit.
Oh my God. It's really good. Resident Evil Revelations 2, though, is going to slip a week back. So Capcom pushed one forward. Now they're pushing one back. You're not going to be able to play Revelations, the first episode of the multi-episode saga, until February 24th. Okay.
Alrighty.
Anyway, Oddworld, new and tasty, will be coming to Xbox One, PS3, and PC soon on February 25th. I actually played it on the PlayStation 4. Not very good. And then they updated the controls, and they're a lot better. Before you had to use like this thing with the analog stick, we had to lightly press it to make him walk and hold it all the way down to make him run.
You mentioned that before, and instead of like a dedicated run button. Is there going to be cross-buy with Vita or not?
There already was.
Oh, there was? Okay.
Yeah.
And there's cross-buy. Like, if you already have the PS4 version, can you play it on your PS3 and Vita?
There will be, yeah.
Okay, cool.
It was also like $30 when it came out. It was really pricey. Also, there's rumors that Creative Assembly is working on a new Warhammer game. Okay.
All right. That's cool.
A Warhammer RTS, get real. That'll never happen.
There's so many of those Warhammer games. It's almost like there's 40K of them.
Hey! There you go.
Yeah.
President Obama is proposing initiatives to stop all of these awful cyber attacks.
Oh, thanks, Obama.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna stop.
I'm laying it on thick with the bad jokes today. I got the shovel out, just dumping them.
There was an 18-year-old actually arrested in Southport. That's right by Liverpool in the UK, with connections to the Xbox Live and PSN attacks that happened.
Oh, one of the lizard people or whatever?
Supposedly.
Good, fuck them.
I know, I don't care for them. We only got two more news stories. GameStop, they had nearly $3 billion. They had $2.94 billion for their holiday season.
Oh, wow.
But that's actually down by 6.7% compared to last year. Oh, well. And last but not least, there is a Dead Rising movie coming this March.
With Rob Riggle.
March 17th, or March 27th.
And it's direct to, like, on-demand services or something?
No. That would be good. It's direct to Crackle.
Oh, fuck. That's the worst. It's not even like a direct to Netflix or direct to Hulu or goddamn Crackle?
Going to Crackle, baby.
That's the Family Dollar of fucking digital streaming services.
Hey, don't you talk bad about Family Dollar. Sometimes you can get an affordable Coke Zero there every now and again. Allegedly.
Allegedly.
I wouldn't know. I wouldn't.
Oh, boy.
I do love my Coke
That's
Zeros.
good. Well, I mean, I guess they're gunning for Uwe Boll's throne of worst video game movies, so...
Yeah, I mean, no. I would highly recommend someone just go play the Dead Rising 2, where you can play as Frank West the entire game. That's pretty amazing. Yeah, play
the games. You don't need Rob Riggle ruining your game franchise.
It's absolutely true. So, anyway, that's going to do it for the news. Upcoming this week, we do have first hour episodes, finally. And I do have a shiny new capture device that's wonderful. It makes me so happy and is going to change my life forever. And nothing will ever hurt me again. And so we're going to be taking a look at the Saints Row 4 re-release on the PlayStation 4, including Gat Out of Hell, the DLC. From there, we're also going to be taking a look at another re-release of Resident Evil HD, as well as probably one other PSN game, because fuck. All right, fine, whatever. Fuck. Okay. Moving on, I guess there's nothing else to move on to. So, Steve,
Hey.
where can people reach you on the internet?
You can reach me on Twitter at Steve Cuff, or you can go to optimismvaccine.com, or you can go to YouTube and look up Optimism Vaccine if you like videos occasionally.
You should.
But yeah,
go there.
Go to optimismvaccine.com. We got a podcast, the OpVacCast. We've got articles by super brilliant people about movies and video games and old weird stuff. I think I was inspired by the show. I think I'm going to write a piece on all the weird zombie movies for the Italian non-sequels to Dawn of the Dead. There you go.
I think that sounds excellent. I recommend everybody go to Optimism Vaccine.
Go be my friend on Twitter and check out the website that I run.
Hell yeah, it's a great website. Of course, you can reach me on Twitter at Dr. Karate Chop. That's at Dr. Karate Chop. You can follow me on Twitch, even though I don't know if I'm going to be using Twitch that much anymore. I have a new Twitch channel called Colin R. Dumb. That's Colin A-R-E, Dumb. Don't ask why. You'll find out in the near future. And yeah, we're going to have another episode of Pressure Cast that's going to be coming up. That's going to be about handheld game systems as well as the Game Gear, because Sega Month is still going on this week and the week after that. And then who knows what's going to happen with that series. But we'll find out. But
then we kick off Wonder Swan Month.
Oh, Wonder Swan. So many Final Fantasy re-releases. Anyway, Steve, thank you so much for hanging out today.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Absolutely. All right, guys, get out there and live your lives. And do not be scared of death, for the Pressure Cast is forever.